Hi, my name is Victor Bart and this is my 1965 Unimog 404 that I'm turning into a camper. And now it's weighted and officially on the papers. I finally gonna do some really cool jobs like upgrading the battery with this AGM battery. Here on the chassis we have a battery box with two 70 amp hour starter batteries. The Unimog is 24 volt, but the camper will be 12 volt. And right now I just have a cheap 70 amp hour car battery as the secondary battery setup, because also the glowing of the engine goes from this battery. So we're gonna replace this battery with the AGM battery in this video, and we're gonna redo the wiring because I think this is only 16 square millimeter cable. And I want to upgrade the system to 25mm cable, and I want to add a fuse here. This workbench is now turned into the electric workshop, and I bought already some 25mm cable here, and I made a list here what else I need of cables and extra connectors like this, and I have a cool crimping tool for it. So let's go to the shop. I got back from shopping and here a paper bag worth 170 euros. This is a really expensive hobby. One of the most expensive things, a battery cable. And I got this fuse box with 100 amp fuses. And I got this set of connectors. So I'm gonna make a quick connect between the box and the Unimog. And I got more copper cable and a lot of crimpable connectors. These two brackets here are the brackets where the stainless steel box is on, and with 4 M8 bolts it's bolted to the back. And the brackets are pretty close together, so when the chassis flexes they don't move that much. If you put a bracket here, you have way too much flex into that box. And here we have the ground cable that goes to the ground point that's here on the chassis. And here the positive cable that goes into this junction box, and then here into the box and one line to the front. So what I'm gonna do is probably put this connector on the back of the box, and then a cable from here with the ground and the positive also to that connector, so I have a quick disconnect to remove that box. Because if you want to do an oil change you need to remove it, and normally this spot is where the spare tire is. And I filled it completely up with my own creation. So this works much easier than with a box under the chassis. And right now I have this wooden pieces with these threads here to hold the battery in place. So I'm gonna see how they fit the new battery and how I'm gonna redesign this. This wooden inlay is 3 pieces. The big piece for the battery, the smaller piece where also the jack goes, and this piece that holds everything together and from moving up. And this one, if I get 2 bolts out, I can pivot it out. So let's fit the battery, and this battery is 30 kilos. So yeah, it's quite heavy. And much heavier than a lithium battery. So why did I choose to go for an AGM battery over a lithium battery? The main reason is I want to now make a small system just to have my fridge running and then and my laptop and simple things. And this one is perfectly fine for it. It's 30 kilos, so it's way heavier, but it was around a fifth of the price of an lithium battery. So yeah, this one was 169 euros. But the system I gonna design with Victron equipment that all can also work with lithium. So for now I will use an AGM battery, and in the future if I have more needs or need to replace this, I probably will go lithium. And also in 3 years lithium is probably way cheaper than it is now. So that is the reason why I chose for an AGM battery. But if you have the funds for it or want to use a bigger system, consider lithium because it's superior over AGM. This is just way cheaper. So for a more budget system or a smaller system, or whether weight is less of a problem, it's still a good option. And 30 kilos on the Unimog for one battery, it's perfectly fine because I have 1300 kilos weight to build a camper. So a kilo more on the build is not the main issue. The AGM battery is taller than a starter battery, so these arms are too short. So the first thing I had to do was run to the shop before they closes today and cut some longer pieces. I made a connector here at the back of the box. And I made the other connector here, so let's test fit it before I make the ground connection. And that goes to here. Oh, this is this is just perfect. I can put the connector in here, my hand between the box and the chassis, click it out, remove the box. Oh, this is so awesome. And the height is correct. Yes, I love engineering if it works out. So I now need to finish up the ground cable and then tidy everything up. But the cables that goes into the radio box I will do later, because next week I have my first Unimog event, and if I do too much jobs now and I can't finish it, I might miss that event. So I rather do that later, and also when I gonna make the box itself, it's easier to decide then where I gonna exactly place the cables. I really enjoy working with this crimping tool. It has a 12-ton press in it, so it's super easy to work with. The box is done and wired up, and these two lugs were really difficult inside the box to build them, especially this one, because the wire is really short. But I really like the hoses here that I bought, and this is just like some kind of water hose that perfectly fits about the tubes here. And this is way more heavy duty than the cheap plastic hose that I bought years ago, because I have some on my Unimog and I saw that some were already cracked here in between. And this key here is a battery switch to turn off the battery while parked really long or for maintenance. And I put it on a little rope, so if it falls out, it doesn't drop here and then under here. 13.1 volt. Let's turn the switch on and then measure the connector in the back. Also 13.1 volt. On the back of the box we now have the connector with the nice hoses and some hose clamps to keep it in place. And then here by the chassis we have this connector that goes into the big box. I really love how this connector turned out. It's super easy to quick connect. It's a little bit hard with the camera in my hand, but yeah. You just plug it in like this and have a little rope here. If I pull it, it's out, so I don't have to fiddle the connector out. I love it. This whole box is just one of the things I so enjoy building on the Unimog, with the brackets here, with the angle here, and that it is made that it can flex, and with some rubber here, and that you can unbolt 4 M8s and take it off. And now with the quick release, it's just amazing, this box. So it's now time to put back the battery and see if it all works. I did it. It's in. Love it. So let's see if the sparks will fly. Nothing. Good. The simplest thing to test out is to see if it makes the close sound. Okay, the 12 volt is working. Here we have the electric system of the camper, and I'm gonna completely upgrade it with inverter, solar, probably replace the DC to DC converter to something better. So let's see if the light will switch on. Okay, also the 12 volt in the box works. I'm really happy how this turned out. It's even better than I had in mind because of the quick release disconnect connectors on the outside. And then with the 100 amp hour AGM battery, that's much better than the starter battery. Good cabling, 100 amp fuse, 25mm cables. Here the ground disconnect. And the nice thing about this box is it's not only for batteries. Even the battery is pretty small right now, because first I had a big truck battery here, but that broke down. So I have room to put in bigger batteries, but if I ever go lithium, I probably put it up in the living space instead of this box, and then this will just be in toolbox because it's nice and dry inside. And here we have my bottle jack, and there will be here a tow strap and some motor oil and things like that will be in this box. I'm really excited for next week because I have my first Unimog event with 30 Unimogs. I'm really curious how they react on this Unimog that they never seen on events before. They know me because I did some videos already on some Unimog events. So next time when I'm in my workshop, I will put the bed back in the camper, probably my fridge, because it can run now much longer. And then probably check some oil and then make it ready for the event next weekend. I'm really looking forward to it, and thanks for watching.